New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on The Spy Who Stole the Atom Bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Back to the conversation. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Less, but first time for a few emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Coming from our question, what were you or someone else hit with? Let's see, guys, I had a great idea to rent Harleys while on vacation in Orlando, Florida, to cruise down to Cape Canaveral with my dad and brother. I was young, wanted to look cool, so I decided not to wear a helmet, since it's, of course, not required in Florida. No jackets, shorts, no front windscreen on the bike. Ride down was great. However, they didn't tell us that once it becomes dusk, all the bugs come out. So there I am, going about 60. I'm getting straight pelted in the face, torso, and legs with bugs that I assume are cicadas because they're huge and hurt like hell. I'm doing everything I can to protect myself as I'm riding, and we need to be back by a certain time in order not to be charged for another day of rentals. So we really can't stop. So I'm hugging the tag of the bike to try my best to get under the windstream. I'm trying to hide behind the bike handles, whatever. Nothing is working. I end up just dealing with it and take the pelting of the bugs for the next 3 hours. My father was the only smart one. He had a full face helmet and windscreen on his bike. I'll live and learn. Keep on rocking. That from B-Dub. Guys, I was about 16 back in 77. I was swimming at a friend's pool in his apartment, and we were having a party, so I dive in the pool, and just as my head is breaking back up out of the water, as I'm coming up from the dive, I feel a thud on my forehead and start seeing stars. A little woozy. Everyone was looking at me strangely, but I don't know why. Just then my buddy runs to the edge of the pool saying, "Dude, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry." And I asked him what happened. He said, "You yelled you needed a beer just before you dove in, so I threw you a beer." And apparently said, unopened beer nailed me right between the running lights, and this was before aluminum cans. So that thing was hard. Amazingly, it didn't cut me, but it sure left a sweet knot. It's also when I learned I could take a punch. That from Dave.
What kind of beer do you think it was?
Yeah.
It said before cans.
I mean,
for aluminum cans, so probably like an old Coors or Budweiser or something.
Yeah, probably. And I do remember, man, because for whatever reason, I knew a bunch of friends of mine whose dads had beer can collections.
Oh, those are great.
And he's not kidding, man. I mean, those things were hard cans.
It's also like that guy didn't throw it right away. Right? If he said, "I need a beer," and jumps in, then you throw him. By the time he resurfaces, it hits him in the head. Like, that's just bad.
I think it's just
reaction.
throwing one up like, hey, we'll just drop it in the pool. When he gets up, it'll be floating in the pool. And then all of a sudden, it just baps him right.
I'm sure it floated after it hit him in the head.
Guys, I was in Iraq and caught a AK-47 round to my Kevlar helmet. Grazed me, but it was loud as all get out. It was a tracer round, so I actually saw it coming at me. No time to duck. That from JD.
It's the problem with bullets. They're still really fast.
As we move on to our birthday request, guys, I want to wish my boy Bennett a happy first birthday. Took 3 tries to finally get a boy. So can he get a big old fish sandwich and a Leroy Jenkins? Thanks, guys. That from Chris.
Do I get a fish sandwich?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Bitches, today is our awesome son, Corbin, pronounced Boom Boom's 8th trip around that big ball of fire in the sky. Could you please give him a couple Joey Chestnuts? Thank you guys so much, and rock on. That from Casey and Chris, the A-hole in Oak Harbor.
Joey Chestnut! Joey Chestnut!
What else we got here? Let's see here. Guys, today is my wife Emily's 28th birthday, with our daughter turning 1, 4th of July, and her birthday within a span of 2 weeks. My wallet hurts. So tonight, we are eating steak, though, which is worth it. Anyhow, can she get a motivational quote from Miles? I think that's her favorite. Thank you guys for all you do. That from Jordan. Let's see what we got here. All right, Emily. Just remember, If 3 people have sex, it's a threesome. If 2 people have sex, it's a twosome. So now I know why people call me handsome. Hello, Charles. Today's my amazing husband Caesar's birthday. He's turning 30. Can we give the young man a fish sandwich, a bong rip, and the dirty German's talking about his new long fish? You guys rock.
Fish sandwich. Are you sure?
That one from Caesar.
Oh. So let me get this straight. Caesar sent in a birthday request like it was coming
He
from
sent
his
in a birthday.
wife,
Right, but it was his profile.
and it's his birthday.
Yeah, I think your big long fish might be big and long, but this smells like fish for wrong reasons.
See, I'm not sure what type of fish this is, what's this going on here, but happy birthday, either way, Caesar.
Being anchovy. Caesar salad.
Oh.
Yeah, see? Connects the German dots.
Yeah.
Wasn't a Caesar salad invented in Mexico?
You're correct.
Yeah, see.
By Caesar somebody.
Yeah.
He was an Italian-American who went down there during Prohibition.
The only Caesar I know is from Planet of the Apes. Although I can see that wacky ape creating a salad.
But the real Caesar got stabbed in the back.
Oh, that's right. There's that Caesar, yeah.
Yeah, it's too brute.
Guys, we want to
That's how he
congratulate
said it, too.
one of our best buds.
Too brute?
One of our
What the
best.
F, dude?
That's the translation.
Right, that's exactly how he said it.
Guys, want to congratulate one of our best buds, Cole, on another successful trip around the big fireball in the sky. Can we get a fish sandwich and you guys talking all over each other about dinosaurs and race cars? Thanks a bunch and happy birthday.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah,
The sad
it's
thing is,
got
man, I
huge
know
into
more about dinosaurs than I do about race
Now I'm into
cars.
it.
But that
I like
said,
the
the one
F1
thing
car.
dinosaurs
Pretty
never
exciting.
did, they don't like
dinosaurs.
burst into flames with the big
I like
ass.
Indy
If they
cars.
did, I would watch
Pit
it every
stops in F1
single
are
time,
easy.
man.
It's 3
Never go to
seconds, it's too
Jurassic
long.
Park.
But either way, TJ, we got all 55 of your emails in that one. So.
I took a shower at Jurassic Park like a week ago.
So what now?
I was just at a friend's house and they have a small child. I was like, hey, before I shower, can I take out like the 10 dinosaurs?
Oh, yeah.
In the bathtub?
Yeah, I was like,
Why?
what happens in here?
Why? That sounds to me like a whole lot of fun.
Well, I was just showering.
Oh, okay. All of Charles, can I please get a birthday shout out to Google's best engineer, Snog? Could we get a big old bong rip and a happy Chinooka and the dirty Germans talking about how they're going to hack his system from the inside? Thanks, guys. That from Don.
Happy Chinooka.
Yeah, first of all, your name's Snog. That is also English slang for kiss. So we will do some of that. But yeah, of course I will hack your system from the inside and play with your Googles.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like a car engine. There's only one way to check if you're okay. It's to put my dipstick in there and see how the level is. Sometimes you have to clean it off and put it back in.
Yeah, wipe it
Wipe
off
it off, yeah. So you can see
Yeah.
it.
with a sock.
Take it down to the line. Clever's handy.
Or a pillowcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. When I was a kid, I feel like it was exclusively a sock.
Oh, and you thought you were so clever. No one's ever thought of this except everybody.
No, I meant with the actual dipstick.
I did not. Never mind.
Why is one sock looking like it's standing on its own and the other inside out? Shout out to my daughter Amanda, who turns 30 today. Could you get a big old bong rip of Leroy Jenkins and some of those thrill shotgun gets? Thank you, guys, and rock on. That from Juan.
Should point out that recording is an actual bong rip.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
And some shotgun gets, you said?
Yes.
All right. Get.
Hola, Jets. Today is one more complete orbit around the great ball of fire in the sky for my roommate Heather, the RN, as she has now been a nurse for over 5 years. I'd like to wish her a happy birthday with Leroy Jenkins, an owl hitting the window, a burp fart, and some wedding puke. Ale and winches, bitches. That from Dennis.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Drop the beat.
Oh, hey.
Whatever. And good day, bitches. Last year, I had a heart attack and died, but was brought back by the emergency services. Well, after a pacemaker and a few scars, I made it a year, and I'm still kicking. So how about a few thrill shotgun gets and the dirty Germans explaining where is the best place to shock you with a defibrillator to bring you back if you're dying. From Still Alive and Well, Mark. Get!
Yeah, I've never had this heart attack, but I imagine if you really want to bring someone back to life, you put it on the cherries.
Yes, maybe it's the berries. So that'll shock them alive. So, sometimes you have to be careful how you play with it, but sometimes I put it on the back door.
Yeah, I just scream clear.
All right, guys, here you go.
I got one more.
Oh, you got a birthday request.
I do indeed. It's my sister Rachel's birthday today.
Oh, is it? How old is she?
She is 32, I believe, this year.
I believe.
Yeah.
I like that.
She brought you a beautiful
nephew correct.
into the world.
Yeah.
The
G-Man.
How old is he?
G-Man. He's just about 3 months old.
The G-Man is 3 months.
Turns 3 months tomorrow.
Is he eating any kind of solid food yet?
Not that I'm aware of, no. But he is actually starting to stand under his own power a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Really? In 3 months?
Yeah.
G-Man.
She's just holding him up, helping him balance.
Trouble.
She would like a Leroy Jenkins, however.
Oh, she would like a Leroy
That is her
Jenkins.
favorite over there.
Has he thrown up on you?
Not yet, thank God.
But you haven't lived.
He has farted on me repeatedly, though.
Nice. All right, guys, here you go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's world famous sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks last?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Steve Thrill, who you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. All of them suck to some degree, but it's up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories you bring, which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow us on Twitter at KISW, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Last.
Yeah, and like you said, we have 3 stories. We go across the country. We begin in Florida. And Miles, as you like to say, Ohio does its best to give Florida a run for its money. As it turns out, Ohio also has some skin in this game. And sadly, if you're listening here in Seattle, yeah, we do too. But let's start in Florida. We're unable to locate the restroom at a 7-Eleven. A Florida man opted instead to relieve himself in the store's walk-in cooler, where a stack of Busch beer was defiled by the tipsy suspect. According to the cops, Daniel Colon, he entered the Treasure Island convenience store around 7:30 looking for a bathroom. Well, when that search failed, he opened a door that was marked employees only, believing, hey man, it's probably their bathroom. Well, he then entered what turned out to be 7-Eleven's walk-in cooler, then began urinating on, quote, several cases of beer. A store employee who had spotted Colon entering the cooler confronted him, told him to stop. So he did, and he drove away. But the cops reported that he urinated over 6 cases of Busch Light, causing the store a loss of, and he gets the 6 cases of Busch Light.
6 cases of Busch Light. I'll say Busch Light is probably $18 a case.
You're right there, dude. $100.
Yeah.
That works out.
I was going to ask, what's 6 times 15?
But Coloni was subsequently arrested after his vehicle was pulled over by the cops that were, in fact, searching for the 7-Eleven suspect. Now, in addition to criminal mischief and burglary charges stemming from the cooler urination, he's also charged with drunk driving. And after being read his rights, he reportedly told police, quote, could not find a bathroom, so I entered the walk-in cooler. Nevertheless, he was locked up and held on bail. Just couldn't find a bathroom, peed in the bathroom cooler, or in the beer cooler. So now let's go to Ohio. Or an Ohio man, he's been convicted of stripping naked and defecating on a self-checkout scanner at a Kroger supermarket.
Oh, God.
During a municipal court appearance.
He defecated on a self-checkout scanner?
Yes, he did.
I wonder how much that was. I mean, seriously, like price-wise, right?
I put it in pounds, right? Like buying fruit or something?
Yeah, just put it up with like a...
That turd's worth $7.93.
Same price as potatoes, probably.
Probably about. But he copped to public indecency, disorderly conduct charges stemming from the episode. It happened in late May. He was sentenced to 30 days in jail, but the judge suspended the sentence and placed him instead on probation for 2 years. Additionally, he was ordered to pay about $400, and believe it or not, court issued a stay away from Kroger properties.
Stay away.
Yeah, apparently he walked in, stripped naked. This is according to the eyewitness account. Smelled of booze, was unsteady on his feet, had slurred speech, and then defecated on the, quote, you scan it. Now we go right here in wonderful Seattle, where just last month, a Seattle man is facing indecent exposure charges after walking into a grocery store and plopping his genitals atop of the scanner at the self-checkout station. Now, according to cops, Christian Fisher, he entered the Quality Food Center, QFC, around 5 p.m. and proceeded to a self-checkout scanner. He then summoned over a female employee. When the woman approached Fisher, she saw that his penis was out on the stand. The employee said that she reacted with surprise, which caused him to laugh. Well, a male employee said that when he saw his female co-worker reacting to something on the checkout stand, he walked over to see what the issue was. The issue, he told police, was Fisher's penis, which was, quote, resting on top of the scanner. The suspect was laughing, did not make any attempts to stow away his blatantly exposed genitalia. He then fled the business before cops arrived, but he returned to the market several hours later and was confronted by the workers who recognized him from the earlier incident. He ignored employee demands to leave the store and got into a shoving match with security trying to escort him from the premises. Police subsequently collared Fisher about a block from the store. Told that he was under arrest for indecent exposure, Fisher, quote, became agitated and yelled, "I didn't whip my C out." He was later booked into the county jail, a misdemeanor count of an assault rap. So again, in Florida, a man urinated in the 7-Eleven beer cooler, took out $100 worth of Busch Light. In Ohio, a man pooped on the self-checkout of a local grocery store. And finally, here in Seattle, a man gently placed his penis on the self-scanning at a QFC supermarket. That's why we were guessing the one near you, Ted, because we said...
I was going to say, did they not say which one it is?
They don't say which location it was, and the first one I thought is probably not right. I won't say where because we don't know, but then Mike goes, man, I think it's the one by Ted, and we consider what goes on in your neighborhood. I think it's likely...
There's a chance,
especially that
it
he came back. It could be.
I'll tell you what I learned from that. It's the Quality Food Center. I had no idea that that's what QFC stood for.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I did not know that.
Oh, it was news to me, too.
And they are.
By the way, the Ohio Kroger, where the guy defecated on the self-checkout scanner, Kroger is the same thing as QFC is on the East Coast.
Right.
So they're owned by the same company.
They're owned by the same people.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, they're having a bad run.
Okay, let's break this down here.
So, you realize with both Kroger and QFC, right, same owners, it's something about their self-checkout that just attracts the worst of people.
Okay, question for you guys.
All right.
If you knew somebody peed on 6 cases of Busch beer, right? Would you think about just taking the beer home and washing it off, putting it in a tub, and then still drinking the beer? If say, it will give it to you.
It depends.
Here's 6 cases of beer.
If it's in the box, yeah. Because
that's what I'm saying, because they are in an actual walk-in cooler.
What's the price discount?
So it's free.
They're giving it to you.
It's free.
Oh, yeah, take it.
Yeah, I'm taking it too. So that's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the coolest thing in the world.
And to be fair, peeing on Busch Light is like pouring Busch Light on pee. It's basically the same difference.
I will tell you this. I was in a place that had Busch on tap, and I had like 3 or 4. I'm like, this is a pretty good beer. So I'm sorry.
Were you already drunk?
No, I wasn't. It was on draft. I was like, you know what, Busch beer, I give it a hard time, but this is actually really.
I have a buddy. He's from St. Louis. All he drinks is Busch Lights. Calls it Busch Lattes.
Yeah, I mean, it was Busch Light. So I want to say that,
but hang on now. We don't know if the 7-Eleven's just going to give us the beer. So you're walking in and you might be buying beer that's been peed on by a dude.
Right. But no one has to deal with that other than the employees who have to clean it up, which is not the worst thing in the world, but there was no assault that took place or anything like that. The guy in Seattle, I think he is maybe the worst, not because he put his genitals on the self-checkout scanner, but that when he came back, that he assaulted the manager or an employee.
Well, they were escorting him out and he was fighting them back.
Okay,
so it's not that he went and attacked
and he did not listen to the fact that he's not allowed in the store anymore.
Which generally, just as a general announcement, if you pull your penis out of grocery stores, they might ask you to leave.
The guy who defecated on a self-checkout scanner, now that to me is... It's funny. I would be curious how much my stuff was worth, depending, on what button you push in the produce area. But it seems like it would be an easier cleanup.
The poop?
Well, I mean, it's on a self-checkout scanner. It's basically a piece of glass.
Right? I mean, it's
the laser
poop,
underneath.
Dude. But it's poop.
What if you dropped a solid one? I mean, you could pick it up like dog crap.
But it's in a public thing. You know what I mean? At least the 7-Eleven, like, look, dude, it's in the beer cooler. Customers don't have to deal with it. And frankly, you don't have to let them know.
All right.
The poop, like, come on, man.
The poop is the worst to me.
I think you're right. I think
you pooped on the. I mean, if you poop on the floor, it's bad. If you poop in a bucket, it's bad. But like, man, on the self-checkout,
that's awful.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the guy in the 7-Eleven who peed on the Busch beer sucks the least.
All right, I can report it's not exactly the one I go to. It's the one down the street from me.
Is it? You did find out?
Yeah, we found out.
Okay. All right.
I live. Yeah, that one's fun.
Are you surprised?
Not at all. Because
Yeah.
we were talking about The Office. I almost said right, but they're both on Broadway. That could easily be either one. It just happens not to be the one I go to. The 7-Eleven again, like, all right, the guy shouldn't have shown his junk to the QFC employee.
That's correct.
That part is very bad, and then to come back. But in essence of cleanup, it seems easiest just to spray down.
Where he dropped his boys.
Right.
Yeah,
whereas, like, at 7-Eleven, the dude physically peed on something. Now that we got to unbox all that beer, like this or that, the Ohio guy sucks the most. But I'll say junk on the self-scanner.
You say Seattle guy.
Sucks the least.
I agree. I mean, it's not great to put your penis on self-checkout, but given the option of the three, like, okay.
Also, like, listen, this is an extreme case, but, like, you know, put your veggies in a little bag when you buy them.
Just in case.
Just in case. You don't know what's been on that checkout.
You do not. Here's the thing. This guy just got caught. We don't know this is his first time. He may have been dropping his penis on the self-checkout scanner around town.
The idea of somebody squatting, though, in Ohio on a self-checkout scanner and just dropping one, though. I mean, to me, that is just... Could you imagine, like, put item back in bag?
Right.
You know what I mean? You know
that one, by far, seems the worst. I could deal with a drunk guy peeing in a cooler thing, but it's like... That guy just crapped in this grocery store.
Debate on who sucks less continues if you follow KISW on Twitter. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
99.9 KISW. The men's room is in progress.
Coming up in just minutes, we will drink, we will toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. But first, quick check in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, good news, gents. A new study has found the best city for recreation.
Vegas.
Vegas, Miles, any guesses?
What is the recreation we speak of? Is this like access to outdoor parks and things like that? Or is it
no idea? I'm not working
amusement parks?
You know, San Diego. I'll go San Diego.
San Diego.
I'll say Florida, then, based on Disney World.
Denver. Miles, you nailed it. Orlando.
Okay.
Not only does it have Disney World, it has Universal Studios.
And SeaWorld.
By the way, Oakland was the worst.
But it's also surrounded by Orlando. So that's the problem with Orlando. Like,
you got to go to Florida.
There are those things to do there. None of those are cheap, but if you're not doing those three things, you're just in Orlando, Florida.
Right. And it's a lot like California, in a way. So, like, if you're on the coast of California, you know what I mean, you might have a cool breeze coming in off the Pacific if you're in L.A. or San Diego or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you go, you know, an hour or two east, you're in Death Valley or you're in La Quinta, it's 117 degrees. Same thing with Orlando. When you go to Orlando, you don't realize that if you were in Fort Lauderdale, say, it might be a little bit cooler. There's a breeze blowing. There's not as much humidity. In Orlando, it's just hot.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, it is hot.
And humid.
You cannot believe how hot and humid it is.
Let's put a theme park here.
You just sweat.
The Ukrainian army got some backlash after deciding to make their female soldiers march in high heels.
I saw a picture of that. I don't understand why.
Right.
Like, they're in the army. You're probably not wearing heels. I mean,
right.
And if they are, they're going to get their ass kicked.
Yeah, they wear boots in combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's why I was like, why are we still doing this?
Right. Exactly. Why are you marching in heels?
Good work. We've all heard about the guy selling slacks and speakers out of his trunk, but a man in Georgia was busted selling iguanas out of his trunk.
All right. Was he just driving them up from Florida?
Yeah, who needs an iguana?
Pretty much.
What's the market for that?
Yeah, it's a weird approach. Hey, brother, you interested in iguana?
I know a guy who actually is. Like, whoever said that?
Right. You know, let me call my cousin Eddie. He probably needs an iguana.
But I don't think that, the acquisition of an iguana is the expensive part. It's probably like the cage and the upkeep and
Yeah,
right.
All the other stuff.
All
the lettuce.
I was going to say, all the lettuce, you got to get it.
And also, how hard is it to come by an iguana? Especially down in the Georgia area, aren't they like...
Oh, he's in Georgia?
He's in Georgia, so I'm saying, like, he might just be driving them up from, like, South Florida.
Right.
Maybe, but I mean, that's like offering someone who lives anywhere a squirrel.
Right.
Nah, dog, I got plenty of them in the backyard.
I don't like them. They're all over the place anyway.
What if it's a domesticated squirrel?
So, like, it'll listen to certain commands and hang out in the house?
Yeah, he's cool, man.
Then I'm cool with that.
All right.
If you got a domestic squirrel, what else you got in your trunk?
$75.
I'll give him $75 for a domestic squirrel.
You can even walk them.
Walking your squirrel. Do you sell the harnesses, Ted?
Right. I can't promise what's going to happen with inside your home with your dog.
Right.
But the squirrel is chill.
There's a 19-acre lot on the Canadian side of Lake Erie going for $99,000. That's presently underwater.
Ooh.
They basically said, like, ignore the fact that it's underwater. Think of the future, the possibilities.
Is it a reservoir? Like, are people drinking that water?
I'm not.
Sadly, then I might buy it.
Why would
I mean, look what's going on in California and stuff with droughts and everything.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah.
What happens with the rain?
If you get your water from the Colorado River, you might be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Burger King may have leaked a new sandwich on their website, the Spicy as Fire Whopper.
I'm guessing they didn't leak it by accident.
Spicy AF, huh?
That's
So
right.
is it a hamburger that's spicy, or are they doing a giant Whopper with a chicken patty in there? You know what I'm saying? Because when I think spicy, I don't normally think spicy beef.
I guarantee you it's got some sort of a sauce on it.
I mean, maybe bulgogi, but other than that, I can't think of any way where you get spicy beef.
I think it's got to be a burger because it's a Whopper.
Right.
Which is established.
And you've seen those burgers that they have, like, peppers put into the meat, not to mention you could put the sauce
you
on
had
top
a
of it.
spicy one when we went to the Robin last time.
I did.
We call those ghetto burgers. When you start cooking the vegetables into the meat, like, come on, man. You can put it on top. Do not mix it with the
Burger
meat.
King, they had a spicy burger, I want to say like 2 years ago for like Halloween or something. Like I've seen like, not just flame broiled, but like, we'll flame you the whole the next morning.
Subway says it'll be revamping their menu this month with a dozen new or improved ingredients and 10 revamped sandwiches. So they mean they're going to give you food.
Well, I read through it yesterday because I'm like, what are you really going to do? So some of the, I don't know about the new menu items, but as far as what already exists, they're going to shave their turkey and roast beef a little bit thinner, so it's like deli style.
That's a good idea.
And they're going to use, what did it say, pepper cooked bacon? So I don't think it's like that microwave stuff that they're throwing on there.
Okay. All right. That's an upgrade.
all I remember. The tuna, we still don't know.
The bread?
That's just in Scotland that it doesn't qualify as food.
Yeah, their bacon just could be a little thicker.
I think that's all they're doing. So we just want to improve. We'll keep most of our menu items are going to improve the ingredients that go into it. I think we know why it's happening.
And they did say that they weren't going to, at least not yet, change any of the prices on the things on their menu.
Right, not yet.
They're probably going to up the quality, keep the price down and low, and then you might just watch those prices start.
I mean,
to
I would think
step up.
Subway too. Like, there's just so many of those franchises. Like any change they make has to be a massive overhaul.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt.
A woman on TikTok showed a video of builders that came to her house by mistake and started working, but she didn't stop them because she wanted the work done.
She didn't even know what they were doing, though. It's a problem.
Right, they just showed up.
Work done's one thing, but you don't know. Are you putting a shed out back? Or are you putting a deck into my backyard? Or are you
Mike and I think she's
landscaping?
full
Or
of crap.
I guess either way, the backyard was in need of some help.
Right. I do take this headline with a grain of salt with the fact that it is on TikTok, which is kind of the new original comedy area. People are writing their own content, their own scripting, and some of them are just taking advantage of the situation that they got. This could very well be a woman that said, hey, wouldn't it be funny if these guys just showed up and started doing this?
I think that's what she's doing. Because some of the people that watched her video, this has been going on for almost a week now. Mm-hmm. So they reached out, people that are not her, reached out to the company because they were upset, saying she's taking advantage of you.
Trying to scam you.
Right. And the company has no problem with this. That's why I'm assuming they're not at the wrong place.
Or it could be that she's just shouting their company all over the place, and so now all these people are looking for them.
I think she didn't want to say the company. Other people pieced it together.
All right, there it is. Gents, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is researchers found a procedure to help us men live longer.
All right.
Oh, I read this. Yeah,
it is just a very small procedure. Most of you know what it is. It's just called castration.
Once you're castrated, you can't fly the flag anymore, though, right?
I mean, how long do you want to be living if, part of my joy is my penis?
That's kind of what I'm saying, man.
Well, wasn't that the case on, like, the choir guys? The
eunuchs, yeah.
Yeah, the eunuchs. I mean, they have a longer lifespan than... I mean, I think they've already... Maybe they just didn't have a scientific study to prove it. But I think that's always been the thought process behind it. If your body's not pumping itself with testosterone, you're probably going to live a little bit longer.
Right,
Sure.
but the question is, what's your quality of life?
Right.
You know what I mean? You can live to be 117.
I'm not living anymore.
But if I'm pissed for the last 40 years of my life, it's all right.
But can I still have sex? I don't believe I can, right?
I don't.
No, castration, I think it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, no, you still got to pee.
Yeah, you still got a
good
penis.
call.
You just don't have.
But I don't know if you're going to get an erection because you're not producing testosterone, right?
Okay.
The tree is still there. It's just we've trimmed the fruit from it. So it's still standing out there.
It's like a barren apple tree.
That's right, man. It's just standing out there in a field. So
I'm
doing much of anything.
fine with our average lifespan, and I really love my testicles. So, I mean,
Right.
piece it together, I'm cool.
I don't need to live forever.
Most attractive part of my body.
Because as Miles says, the years that you add on to the end of your life are not exactly your best years.
It's not like they give them to you in your 20s.
No.
Like, ooh, you got castrated, your 20s last for 30 years. Right? You're like, okay. It's like, no, you can live to be 107. I don't know about you, but the few over 100-year-old people I've met, they don't look great.
I feel like I follow the Guinness World Record page on Facebook, and I feel like they just crowned the newest, oldest man alive at like 115. And I love how they always have him sitting in a chair, and they just put the plaque on his lap. Like, he's not holding it or anything like that. He just looks catatonic.
What did you show me yesterday? So Jimmy Carter and his wife.
Oh, yes.
75 years of marriage.
That's right.
Congratulations.
75th
to them.
anniversary.
And wedding anniversary, all right? And I believe the quote was something to the effect from Jimmy Carter, because they're like, what are you guys going to do for your 75th? They said, sit down and hold hands.
Right. They're going to sit together and hold hands.
We're going to bump uglies for 5 hours.
Yeah,
sex.
Because they're in their 90s.
Yeah, you see me always, working, building homes and hammering stuff. Yeah.
Right. He's going to do the same thing that he does always anyway.
That's right.
Sit down. You're going to go for a jog. A new study found that people get more happiness out of buying a gift for their pet than anyone else.
What?
Yeah.
Depends on if your pet likes it. I mean, you can buy your cat all the toys in the world, but if you just leave out a box from Amazon or a bag from QFC, that's a party right there.
I don't know. She has her toys, the stuffed animals, where all the stuffing ends up over the house. Some rubber crap she chews on, but the joy is like Christmas Day watching the kids open stuff. That, of course, didn't come from me. Of course, it came from Santa.
Sure. Man,
but if they knew to say thank you, I think they'd have a lot of gratitude. Because they say great things about Santa and the gifts that he has selected for them.
For our cat Linus's birthday, the lady got him a new, it's basically like a fishing rod toy with a little mouse on the end.
Yeah.
She was very, very happy when she first gave it to him. Hates the thing now. Because he does nothing but relentlessly scream at her until she grabs this thing. And he'll do it 3-4 times in a night.
Oh, yeah. Dog toy's not worth a crap until they pop that squeaker. Then
That's right.
It's like, all right, thank God I can relax now. Jesus.
I mean, I think sometimes with dogs, you might say it gives you the most joy because whatever the gift is, generally with a dog, you give it to them and they're just going to be like, oh, all right, cool.
It's instant, right?
Right. They're just like, Miles is right. Like, Tigger did that every time.
I'm going to chew on a bull penis.
Right. He would chew on the same toy for 3 days till the squeaker came out. Then it'd be done.
Right.
Yep.
Then you find its innards all over the floor. You clean it up. You throw it away. You're good to go. Let's see here. Our friends at BuzzFeed made a list of surprising jobs that celebrities had before they were famous.
Oh, you mean they weren't born famous?
That's right. They weren't born and just went right into movies. They had human normal jobs.
They were like normal regular people.
They've got the top 15 here. Some of them that I've omitted from the list. Things like Melissa McCarthy was a Starbucks barista. Margot Robbie worked at Subway. Kind of the average jobs, but there's a couple more interesting ones here.
I would have to think that being a barista at Starbucks, you're trained and everything, but that's not an easy job just based on the language of all the things that you write down on the cup. You know what I mean? As far as what someone wants.
And they're so nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Whether they are or not, they are at the time that they talk to you.
Right, because some days, everybody does. You have bad days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're for the most part, any Starbucks you go to, they're always very nice, like, very willing to deal with people.
One in our building is great.
And I don't know that I've ever been to a Starbucks that wasn't stacked with people inside, all of which were running around working their ass off. Mm-hmm. So, love it. But here's the top 10 that I've got here. Number 10, Jennifer Aniston. Anybody know what she did before she was an actress?
I'm going to say she worked like a waitress or something.
Lifeguard.
She was at dancing.
Worked as a telemarketer selling timeshares.
Damn.
Ooh,
all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
She didn't capture in that room for the 2-hour breakfast, did she?
How many people hung up on Jennifer Aniston and didn't know it?
Many.
Number 9, Tom Cruise. Any ideas of what he did? I know that he was a stunt driver before he actually became an actor.
Was he actually a stunt driver?
He was a stunt driver. That's why he does a lot of his own stunts in his movies.
He will do any stunt. It's the directors and producers and the people with the money that try to back him off of that, going, dude, if you die, the movie's done. But
you know what else he'll do? He'll carry your bags at the Hilton. He was a bellhop for a hotel.
That oddly makes sense
I
for
know.
him.
Some strange reason. I can see him doing that.
Could see him in that little uniform.
Oh, he used one of those carts. You're not even allowed to take those. He didn't carry the bags.
No way. Number 8, Matthew McConaughey. Anybody heard of what he did? This was great.
Well, he was in college when he got discovered.
He went full on Caddyshack, man. Exterminated armadillos for a golf course.
Ooh, that's different. Well, that's straight up Texas right there.
Straight up Texas.
I don't know how
some
you
people got gophers.
You can't shoot them. You must have to be able to trap them.
Hey, I know all the tricks, man.
Can you not shoot them?
Well, I'm just assuming with their shell that, you know what I mean, you couldn't use a shotgun. You have to use probably like a high-powered rifle.
I don't know how.
Shotgun. We don't tell people what we do.
Yeah.
Fireworks on a lot of animals.
Number 7, Terry Crews. Anybody know what he did? This one's fascinating.
He was a football player.
But before he was famous, he worked in the court system.
Really? Was it bailiff?
He was a court sketch artist.
Get out of here.
Terry Crews.
Huh. Big muscle man.
I would have never.
Euro training. Yeah, he used to make courtroom sketches. That's awesome. Whoopi Goldberg at I believe that's number 6.
Wasn't she a mortician or something like
Morgue beautician. That's exactly what she was.
Beautician.
Yeah, she was making everybody look fancy for the at their big show.
They don't even look like themselves.
I know.
These again are surprising jobs that celebrities had before they were famous. Number 5, Nicki Minaj. Stripper. Good call.
Hooters waitress.
Close, Miles. Ted, what are you thinking?
Areola donor.
That's Cardi B.
Oh, right.
Cardi was definitely a stripper. Was Nikki a stripper too?
Nikki was a waitress at Red Lobster.
Oh,
Close.
yeah.
Close.
All right.
Nice biscuits.
Little bit more cheddar on the pay. Number 4, Kanye West. What did he do?
I'm sure he annoyed people.
He was a producer forever before he became a rapper.
Would you imagine that one of the greatest rappers of all time, the brilliant genius Kanye West, used to fold shirts at the Gap?
Yes.
I would believe
I can believe that, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's a proper way to fold it. Man, I got my sharp crease because he's like.
Do you think every shirt in his closet is folded properly?
Yes.
Well, a lot of the stuff that he makes is as basic as the stuff that you can buy at the Gap.
Sure.
Like a
He
white
just charges
t-shirt,
more.
you know what I mean? Crocs.
I got a white T-shirt, but it's $200 because the Gap only does it for $15.
Right, that could make sense why he's into all this is because he knows the intricacies, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I guarantee you, his section at the Gap was perfect.
Was crisp.
Oh, yeah.
Like
and
everything, the creases were correct.
If you dug because you wore, I don't know, an extra large, and they put those toward the bottom when they stack. If you just put it back on top, I guarantee you, comic. Hey, no, we ain't playing that, man. It goes where XL goes.
He was that employee that nobody wanted to train with.
Right.
Like they always gave the new guy to Kanye so that he could show him. No, man, like this.
He also might have been the guy that got real excited. Like, oh, no, you look good in that.
Oh, he's selling them out there before.
I think he would upsell.
Captured. Yeah. Surprising jobs that celebrities had before they were famous. Number 3, Brad Pitt. What did the handsome Brad Pitt used to do before he was an actor?
Lifeguard.
Construction. Ted, any guesses there?
He was a cook.
He handed out flyers for El Pollo Loco, so you were close.
Oh, I was about to say he killed chicken.
Indirectly.
It seems crazy, but indirectly.
You were going to say kill chickens.
Right, and it made no sense, so I left that one in the chamber.
And you were so close.
I know.
Number 2, before he was an actor, before he was a wrestler, what did Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson used to do?
Well, he played football for the University of Miami.
That's the truth.
Played in the CFL.
But even before those days when he was playing football, he used to scrub them dishes.
Oh, he's a dishwasher.
Dishwasher at a pizza parlor.
I wonder if they're like, the dishes, you know what, never mind.
That was when his dad was a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
That's right. And this is the number 1 from BuzzFeed surprising job that celebrities had before they were famous. It's our friend Gwen Stefani. Probably fairly average. She worked
at a chip shop.
Dairy Queen, actually.
Somehow that makes sense.
She's not English, is she?
Gwen Stefani?
Yeah.
Is she?
No, she's from California.
No.
Over the years, because of Gavin Ronsdale, I convinced myself she was English.
And she's not with him anymore.
No.
She's with about as American as you can get, Blake frickin' Shelton.
That's right, man.
Yep, that adds up.
A Puxatawny woman filed a claim for her Jeep that had gotten into a wreck, but there was something a little fishy with the claim.
What was that?
Tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK. All right, have we made it to drinking time?
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.